artists! We're going to be making another project inspired by some beautiful fall art and some beautiful fall foliage. Foliage, which means leaves on the trees. But this week, our project is going to be very specific just to Utah. Let me show you what I mean. It's really, really cool. Do you see this forest that we're looking at? This forest is in the middle of Utah in a place called Fish Lake. And can you see how we have lots of green, evergreen trees, pine trees, and then this big, almost like a lake of yellow in the middle. It looks like a forest, but it's actually all one tree. This is a tree named Pando, and Pando is over 80,000 years old. Now, Pando is what we call an aspen tree, and aspen trees are special because when an aspen tree grows, as you know, it has roots that go into the ground, but an aspen tree, sometimes these roots can come up out of the ground again, so they go down and then back up, and when they come back up, they grow another part of the same tree. So even though we might be looking at all of these trees and seeing them as separate, in reality, they're all connected in one small root system. One giant root system. Pando is not only 80,000 years old, which makes it the oldest living tree in the whole entire world, but it is also the biggest single living thing in the world. As you know, we have big things like big bugs and big animals, and the blue whale, of course, is the biggest animal. But then you have trees and plants, and they're also alive. And Pando is the biggest living organism in the world that we know of. And I'm excited because I'm going to visit Pando over fall break. So I'll be taking some pictures, and if you want to see them, I would love to let you. Now, Pando and all other aspens often create images like this, where we can see many of the different tree trunks, and then you can see the beautiful leaves behind it. And this is the kind of art that we're going to make with our project. So today, you're going to need a piece of blank paper, 3 pieces of construction paper. We're doing our warm colors of orange, yellow, and red. Although, as we saw, Pando is mostly just orange and yellow, so I'll just be using orange and yellow. And glue. And that's it. No scissors today, and I will show you why. We're going to start with our background, and then next week we're going to put the trees on top. So to start with our background, we're actually going to tear our paper into small pieces. So go ahead and tear up your whole pages, whichever colors you want to use. If you want to use all 3, please do that. If you just want to use 2, like I'm going to, you can. I don't think you'll have enough if you just use 1. And while you tear, think about all of the beautiful things that we have in Utah that you can't find anywhere else in the world. Not just Pando, but some of our national forests and national parks. We're very lucky to live in this cool state. I'm ready. I have finished tearing my leaves. So now comes the fun part. Although, of course, tearing paper is also very fun. You're going to use your glue stick or your glue bottle if that's what you have, and spread it on your white paper. And then start layering your torn paper on top. Anywhere you want. Doesn't have to be in any specific places. I'm putting my orange down mainly first because, as you saw in the picture, I want mine to look as much like Pando as I can get it. When you get to the edges, try and line your edges up, flat edge to flat edge. because that's going to help make your project fit inside a notebook or a folder better. Now I'm going to put my yellow on top. And try and fill in the white spaces. That's really our goal. We don't want to see any of the white spaces if we can help it. Oh, my paper fell off. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video so that I can keep working and you can keep working. All right, now I am done with my leaves. And if you want to keep following along, I'll show you how to put the trees on. However, if you want to wait and do that next week, you sure can. So, make your choice. Either pause now or get ready to get more supplies. Okay, we're ready for our second half. For this second half, you're going to need the first half. Scissors this time. Go ahead and get some. A black marker. I'm using thin. If you want to use thick, you can. And some regular printer paper. You'll want a full piece. So I'll go get mine. Aspen trees like Pando, which is right behind me, has all of these cool spots that we call eyes in the trees. So we're going to draw our eyes as well as a few stripes on our paper. What you're going to do is just draw straight lines across to make them look like tree lines. In first grade, we practiced drawing straight lines and curved lines and spirals, and you're going to use those skills as you fill a page side to side. See how I have straight lines and some curvy lines and some spirals, and I also have quite a few dots. You'll notice I'm not going all the way to the right. If you feel better about your art by going all the way to the right to make sure that you've got it in, you can, but you won't use the whole thing. So it's up to you. Just make sure that you have plenty of spots and plenty of black lines. There. And now I think I'm ready. So what I'm going to do from here, actually I added one more spiral. Now I feel ready. What you're going to do from here is actually cut into your paper. You can have, depending on how close you put your scissors to the last cut you do, you can have thick tree trunks or thin ones or medium. And your tree trunks don't have to be straight. Remember, nature is never perfect. That's a nice thin one. I'm going to do another thin one. And now I'll do another medium one. And I think that's all I want, but I'll cut one last tree just in case. Okay, and I don't need this. So now I have this tree trunk. Oh, they look cool. This teeny thin thin tree trunk. Try and say that 10 times fast. I can't even say it once. These two. And this little one. Oh, I love them. I love them. Okay, so now I'm going to glue them onto here. And the way I'm going to do that is with my glue stick, I'm going to glue all along the thin line of our tree. I would recommend, since you have that scrap paper, use the scrap paper and glue on top of it. That way you won't get your table or your desk as dirty. And then, once they have glue on them, put them wherever you want on the page, as long as they are going top to bottom. That's super important. I have my first tree down. Oh, it already looks really cool. Let's keep going. Now I've got 2 down. I'm going to keep putting more trees on, more tree trunks onto our Pando. "80,000 years old. Can you believe that? That's older than a lot of dinosaurs, I think. Maybe not. Maybe the dinosaurs were 1,000,000 years ago. I'll find out. Yeah, the dinosaurs were like 200 million years ago. I was way off. Okay, and I have room for one more. So I'm going to put it over here. Oh, over here at the edge. Now that means I didn't use this tree, and that's okay, because I think this looks great. This looks really great. Now it's not quite done. We're going to be adding a couple of branches, because I'll show you in that picture that we're looking at. See how you can see a couple of these branches going across each other? We're going to add some of those. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to get your black marker again, and you're going to make some of these lines and some of these spirals come out using a shaky line. Here's what I mean by a shaky line. So if I want to make a shaky line come out right here, what I would do is kind of shake a little bit with my hand. And I want it to be thick and strong where it starts. So it starts thick and strong. And then we're going to end in some V shapes. I'm going to add a couple more of these branches coming out. Add one over here. Some down here. You can't see. I'm going to add a few more. And I'm going to check my reference as well. Looks like some of the branches can come off of the middle. See how I'm having this one? Where is it? Right here. Come off of the middle. Go ahead and add some of those if you want. It's always, always good to look at your reference. That's why I have mine up. That's what they're there for. Art isn't meant to be done completely out of your head. It is great to be able to draw for fun and draw and sketch and doodle out of your imagination, but you don't have to. Never feel bad about needing to look at a picture. All professional artists do. I sure do. And I think I'm going to put 2 more down and then I'm done.